Welcome to this ACTA video. I'm Eleanor Hill, editor of TMI magazine, and I'm delighted to be working with ACTA on this series of member interviews. For those of you who don't know, ACTA, or the Austrian Corporate Treasury Association, was formally established in 2017. It's one of the fastest growing and most active Treasury associations under the EACT umbrella. It has a number of important working groups also underway. And in the spotlight today, we have one ACTA member, none other than Friedrich Waldegger, who is from PALFINGER. PALFINGER is a leader in lifting and loading solutions. So, Friedrich, welcome. Great to have you here.
Eleanor, thanks for having me.
Wanted to kick off with maybe a recap on why you decided on a career in Treasury. Was there a particular light bulb moment for you?
Even before I started to study business administration, I was fascinated by financial markets and the impact of the economy on stock prices, interest rates, and currencies. After my studies, I worked in different positions on the banking side, but also in the software industry. But it soon came clear to me that I could achieve my professional goal best by taking over a management position in the corporate world.
Well, Friedrich, great to hear there about your transition from the banking world to the corporate world. And we're very grateful to have you in this corporate treasury world. Looking back on the last couple of years, what would you say have been the key professional challenges you've faced and how have you dealt with them?
PALFINGER, but also the Treasury Department, was confronted with several challenges over the last few years. Just to name a few of them, in 2019, we were transforming the PALFINGER group of relatively independent companies into the global PALFINGER organization. So also on Treasury side, we had to integrate these companies into our group treasury structure. In 2020, of course, the COVID crisis, with main focus on safeguarding the liquidity and simply extending the survivability of PALFINGER to a maximum. Last but not least, in early 2021, we were confronted with a cyber attack. A significant proportion of PALFINGER group companies was affected and shut down for several days. So we lost visibility on our cash position and we had to switch on our backup systems, which was heavily supported also by our core banking partners in these difficult times.
It sounds like a really tough time there, Friedrich, without visibility for a couple of days, but also that you were very well prepared with those backup plans, which is something you should be very proud of. And on that note, what would you say is your proudest career achievement so far and why?
Okay, when I look back to my career, I made several steps and very often I changed myself to do something new. And I'm really proud of that I successfully made the transition from the banking sector to the corporate world. And therefore, I'm really very thankful that PALFINGER gave me this opportunity. I'm also very grateful that my family always supported me in taking over new challenges.
Yes, I think going through that transition from the banking side to the corporate side is definitely something to be proud of. So along the way, there must have been quite a few learning opportunities as well, Friedrich. Tell us a little bit about those. Have there been any moments where you thought you might make decisions differently or approach something in a slightly different way?
Lessons learned from my side is that you need to figure out what you really enjoy doing and what you're good at. Because on professional side, you need to constantly improve your performance and also your personal development. So you really need to love what you're doing. With the right passion, with the right attitude, I'm sure that your days will be happier. And at the end of the day, each day will have more significance.
Tell us a little bit about what you think makes a good Treasury leader.
A good Treasury leader must have leadership skills and strategic competencies. He must, of course, be a good people manager, must have strong communication skills, and must be able to build up long-standing, sustainable relationships.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more on those communication skills, and it's becoming increasingly important with Treasury's more strategic role. And with that in mind, Friedrich, how do you think Treasury will fundamentally change by, say, 2025? What will be most different, do you think?
So from my point of view, PALFINGER and of course also the Treasury Department is already in the midst of a fundamental change. Technologies are supporting the digitization and automation of processes, and therefore PALFINGER has already set up a new global business service center in Sofia, which should support the digital transformation of PALFINGER. And for the group treasury, digitization and process automation will lead to a significant reduction of manual workload, and therefore corporate treasury will be able in future to focus more on supporting the company from a strategic point of view.
And with that digitization, automation, and like you said there, Friedrich, the new focus for Treasury, will you be recruiting for different skills in your Treasury team in the future, such as data analytics, for example?
Technical skills are getting more and more important, but of course also communication skills and the ability to adapt change very quickly. We do not plan to recruit colleagues with data analytics skills, but within PALFINGER we have a separate team that is providing these services to group companies. And from a treasury point of view, our colleagues need to be able to speak on eye level with these experts to be able to address our needs.
Well, it sounds like you're very well prepared, Friedrich, but I'm just wondering if there were one thing that you would say would be keeping treasurers or you awake at night right now, what would that be?
I would like to mention two things. From my point of view, it is very important to take care that corporate treasury remains a key function to support PALFINGER's corporate strategy. And the second thing is that we need to constantly upgrade systems and processes to simply prevent our group from cyber and fraud attacks.
Some great strategic advice there, Friedrich, for the wider Treasury function, but I'm wondering what suggestions you might have for a newcomer into the Treasury profession wanted to make a success of their career.
So young colleagues should ideally have completed a couple of internships, either on the banking side or in Treasury departments. They need to have good technical skills and have a broad business understanding. Young employees need to be relatively stress resistant because each and every day in the Treasury department can be different, so they need also to accept challenges.
Some great advice there, Friedrich, around being stress resistant, which I hope is something that we can all learn to be a little bit better at. But thank you ever so much for joining us today, sharing all of your insights. It's been great to hear about your professional and also your personal journeys.
Eleanor, thanks for your time. It really was a pleasure. Bye-bye.
And for anyone wanting to find out a little bit more about other ACTA members and what they're doing, or ACTA itself, please visit acta.or.at. Thank you for joining us.